to this course on basic English grammar. Today we're going to talk about subject-verb agreement. I've divided it into two parts. We'll talk about the first part here. This course is being presented to you by me, Shilpa Jha. Please rate, review, subscribe, and recommend the course. And also please leave your valuable suggestions and comments below. So, subject-verb agreement, big words, right? It seems so complicated, but actually it refers to a very simple concept, right? About singular and plural verbs. All it says is that singular verb must have a singular subject and plural verbs must have a plural subject. That's it. So basically, it's very simple. Singular verb, singular subject, plural verb, plural subject. So subject verb agreement rule, singular verb must take a singular subject, plural verb must take a plural subject, right? A subject is whatever A subject is whatever is doing the action of the verb that we have already discussed in subject, object, and predicate. That whatever is doing the action is subject, and whatever on which the action has been done is your object, right? Now, let's see a very simple example. The student has taken the test. Now, here the singular verb has does not agree with the plural verb. Oh, sorry, the students has taken the test. So that is wrong because here you have students, but you cannot say has, right? Because this has is a singular verb, whereas your subject is plural, right? So it is wrong. So it could be, there are two ways to correct it. So either it would be the students have taken the test because here you have a plural subject and a plural verb, or you have the student has taken the test. So here you have a singular verb and a singular subject, right? Alright, so now here we have a sample example question. Please pause the video and find out the answer to the question, and then we are going to see what the answer is or how you're going to respond to this question. Alright, so let's see what the answer is. The question said, recent studies indicate that the ability of a soldier to remain calm under attack by enemies, internal or external, determine whether the soldier will be the victor or the vanquished. Right. So now when you analyze the options, let's see options A, C, and E. They can be easily out because of the plural determine, right? Recent studies indicate, where is it? Sorry. Recent studies indicate the ability of a soldier to remain calm under the attack of enemies, internal or external, determine, right? You will have to say determines. So this thing is automatically out. So A, C, and E options are easily chucked out. Now between B and D options are determines. So this is correct, but determines whether the soldier will be victor and the vanquished, or determine whether the soldier will be the victor or the vanquished. So now, of course, the soldier cannot be both. If it is victor and vanquished, it has to be wrong because it will be either one of them. So victor or vanquished will be correct, which simply says that option D will be correct because the soldier cannot be a victor and the loser at the same time. Okay, so now how will you test the subject-verb agreement? Now, you know what subject-verb agreement is. It's a very simple concept, but how would you check? Right? So the first thing is placing the subject and the verb far away from each other. So this basically I'm telling you how is it going to come in exams? How will they test you in exams? And this is more to do with sentence correction, that when you see what are the kind of confusing things that they can put. Okay. So let's start. There are primarily three ways of separating the subject and the verb. So basically the first way they will test you is putting the subject and the verb very far away from each other, like we had just seen in the example. Okay, so now this can be done in three ways. First is by using appositives. What are appositives? Positives are your noun, pronoun, your noun phrases that are placed next to nouns to describe them, right? When you see large parts of the sentence separated by a comma, it is a good option to ignore what is within the commas, right? And you see the rest of the sentence as a whole. For example, when you see nuclear fusion, one of the most effective ways of separating carbon and oxygen atoms are being used with deadly intent in the same countries. Now you see it is describing nuclear fusion. We can clearly just ignore this. Now when you ignore this comma wala part, you will have nuclear fusion are being separated. So you clearly understand that R over here is wrong. So it would be nuclear fission is being used with deadly intent by some countries. So here we clearly understand that if you're using extra things, these extra comma brackets can be easily ignored. Alright, go back. So then you have, like you say in the sentence above, the plural R will be, because R, you will get tricked because you will see atoms over here, but you don't have to see that because this R is basically describing nuclear fusion, right? So the correct sentence will be nuclear fusion is, like I told you. Okay, the next way to confuse is by using relative clauses, right? M.F. Hussain, who was one of India's most famous painters, renowned for his paintings, are living in exile. Now, this statement is is obviously incorrect because the subject M.F. Hussain is singular, right? But here you are saying are living in exile, right? Because it will be is living in exile. So here again, paintings of horses is trying to confuse you. So you have to be very, very clear. So the sentence will be is living in exile. Okay, next is that they will use a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase is the animals in the zoo is hungry, right? So now in this sentence, animals is plural, so the verb has to be are, not is, right? So remember in a prepositional phrase, the subject is always before the preposition and not after it. Subject is always before the preposition, right? So it is animals, not after the preposition. So it is not, the subject is not zoo. So the animals in the zoo are hungry. Okay, next word how they will do is they will confuse you with additives. Just have a look at the example below and see which of them is correct. John as well as his friend is coming for dinner, or John as well as his friend are coming for dinner. Which of the following do you think is correct? So obviously, if you see you feel that answer B would be correct because then you feel that John is also there and his friend, so there are two people, so it will be plural. But the answer is wrong. Okay, option A will be the correct answer. Why? Because in English, only the word and can make a subject plural. Here we don't have and, so the subject still remains singular, as well as will definitely just add extra information. Otherwise, it is still the same thing. So, John as well as his friend is coming for dinner is correct. Okay, so this is called additive. We have some more additives for you in addition to, along with, as well as, together with, including, along with. I'll explain that. So now to sum up, John and his friend are coming for dinner is correct. Like we said, that when you say and, then it is a plural thing. But John as well as his friend is coming for dinner. Okay. Strawberries and cream are a high calorie snack or is a high calorie snack. Now here if you see that there is a connector that is used and, but this whole thing is a singular subject, right? Because this singular subject is what? It's a snack. So that is why the answer here would be an is. So a hint is to look at the verb that follows the verb. If the word is singular, the verb is also most probably singular. For example, if you see the singular word snack follows is and it reinforces the conclusion that strawberry and cream is a single thing.